Today I will present my presentation on the preservation maritime cultural values and promoting community cohesion from the viewpoint of a festival of the queer worship in northern central province of Vietnam. First, I would like to introduce a brief detail of the festival. The festival is an important part of the human cultural and spiritual life. And in the province, the Khao Ngư is the most typical and biggest yearly festival of the fishing community. It has been handed down from the generation to generation and strongly influenced the spiritual life and beliefs of the coastal inhabitant in the commune. The festival is also a historical data source, a material and spiritual evidence of the seas and islands' sovereignty and the experience living with the sea of the Vietnamese generation. It also demonstrates the local community identity, and it reflects the cultural diversity and the human creativity over generations. It can be restored and voluntarily preserved by the community for a long time. That's why in the 2017, the festival was recognized by the Vietnamese Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism as a national intangible cultural heritage. In this paper, I not mention the detail of the festival, but I want to focus on the maritime cultural values and community cohesion of the festival. The festival is a period of secular celebration that honor the community values and their identity and the continuity of the festival and the people. The related traditional knowledge has been passed down for generations through the cultural practice, customs, rituals, beliefs, religions, proverbs, and songs, and so on. The activities in the festival has been enriched in the cultural exchange and cultural acculturation. It shows the cultural diversity imbued with the creativity of different fishermen generation. The first values of the first value of the festival I want to mention is it represents the spiritual beliefs of the fishing inhabitant. The festival is a milestone marking the beginning of a production cycle or reflecting several characteristic social life of each community. In addition to the festival flags, palanquins, and procession customs, the visual arts and unique characteristics of the fishing community have been shown in the major offering object. It is a big stack votive dragon boat. In the festival, it simulates the function and power of the sea gods. People worship their offerings and wish for a peaceful and prosperous life. It has a great significance in terms of the spiritual aspect. It expresses the uniqueness of the culture and religious life of the fishing community. On this occasion, the fishermen do not go fishing, and the local people who live in other provinces return home to attend the festival. The second value is it represents the spiritual belief of the fishing inhabitant. People and culture characteristics have been always influenced by geographic location or resident terrain. For centuries, despite of natural risks and disaster from the sea, the fishing community in Ngư Lộc has always relied to the sea to earn their living. They have they have gradually created a living and cultural space that reflects through the festival, beliefs, custom, performing arts, and architectures of the temples and shrine. Here you can see some image of the festival to show the people adore to the sea god. The festival special feature, the main feature is the votive dragon boat. It is the most important symbol and offering that shows the differences of a fishing community. After completing the votive boat, people choose a good time to point the eyes of boat before starting their procession rituals, because they think that the boat needs the eye to see the road on the sea, like the human, and to increase the sacredness of the festival. After that, the votive boat is considered to have a soul. The most important part is the sacrifice at the main altar and at the boat worshipping place. The sacrifice to the sea gods are performed in accordance with traditional rituals. Normally, the rite related to the votive boats is reserved for the fishermen only. And after the ceremony, the big votive boat is burned at the beach to send people's wish to the sea gods. The third feature is the festival shows the community power and cohesion. Because the festival is connected closely to a certain community or area, it has its own regional nuance. It is closely linked to the local community to meet their spiritual and cultural needs in terms of the festival content and style. It is also shown in sacrifice oration, offerings, custom, palanquins, and flagside. The Khao Ngư Well Worship Festival is respected and preserved by the community because of many positive meanings. It is an opportunity to show the community strength, the community strength and the glue holding the member of the community together. The fishermen in Ngư Lộc is united due to they share a same living area, a natural resource and a marine economic benefits. The environment of the traditional festival is basically the village where they live. That's why it is a favorable environment in which the traditional cultural elements are preserved and developed. Though traditional cultural elements are the quintessence drawn and perfected in the community's development. The festival is also a period in the past after a period of interruption. Now the festival has been recovered and renewed by the local community through the ancient documents or the memory of the village elders. This is not a way of honoring traditional cultural values of the community and typical cultural features of each village, but also representing the community's solidarity and the love of their homeland and village. The fourth value is the festival hand over traditional maritime experience and knowledge. Each festival appears, exists, and develops when it becomes a voluntary demand of a community. It is also a need to create and enjoy the material and spiritual cultural values of the local inhabitants, and it forms education and transfer traditional ethical values to the next generation in a very particular way. In the past, the votive dragon boat was more and simpler than by the time it has made bigger and more splendid. The bamboo is used to create the frame boat, and the outside of the frame have a mat layer. Then people cover them with a cardboard layer. To make the votive boats, talented and virtuous artisans were selected in the village. They were divided into many groups, and each group leader manage and arrange people to work. The cultural preservation and transmission through the generation have been promoted through the Khao Ngư World Worship Festival. It is a spike to preserve and transfer traditional knowledge, like making the dragon boat, the taboo related to the process of making, the transfer the song, the music, the rituals and game from generation to generation. And during that process, the old man instruct young people how to make the votive boat and which taboo they have to avoid. And this is a way of preserving the community cultures. And the fifth feature of the festival is it attracts crowds of tourists. The festival consists of two parts: the ceremony and the festivity. The ceremony plays the most important role in the festival, with prayer for the safety at sea and offering sacrifice. The festivity includes folk game and cultural activity that characterize a fishing life, such as squid fishing, dragnet. And at the end of the festival, the dragon boat is carried to the beach and burned with the meaning of sending the fisherman wishes to the sea. Previously, the festival was only for fishermen, but now it is a festival for people of different occupation and localities who are interested in the fishery and national legacy. In this year, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the festival was held in a very small scale. For the conclusion, I want to say that the Khao Ngư Festival is not merely a festival, but it is a window to look into the society and its structure. It features as the segment, the complexity and the community spirit. The festival is filled with various traditional conceptions and knowledge to create a cohesion among the community members. The festival scale is affected by the pandemic or the natural disaster. Thank you for listening to my presentation.